This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
All of you chumps are gonna bow. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Money.
You're listening to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB. If you'd like to contact Mr. Credit, visit mrcredit.org.
Welcome to The Real Estate Debate. And JJ, we are finally back in regular form. The real estate debate itself is going to happen today.
I love it. And I like the fact that we have 3 first-timers and then, a very seasoned
the championist of all champions in the real estate debate. They're calling him Mr. Real Estate Debate right now. I told him that he should trademark that or at least get the website. Of course, that's Brian DeVore. We've got a great cast today. We have people who are new to the radio, some people who've been on the radio a lot of experience is in the studio today. I'm expecting this to be a very close debate, JJ.
I think so too. And since I'm judging it, we'll try to keep it close as long as they give me good info.
There you go. And that's, of course, judging today's debate is my longtime co-host, my mortgage guy, JJ, Jonathan Jarotz with Synergy One Lending and AskJJNow.com. I did want to ask you a couple questions, JJ, real quick. All this turmoil in the stock market, pun intended. What's going on with interest rates? It seems to me like it's the perfect recipe for a low interest rate environment.
It's amazing. I mean, here we start off 2015 in a totally different fashion than most years go. I mean, usually interest rates are getting pushed up at this time of the year, but like your pun intended, oil, there is turmoil in the oil industry and just in worldwide. I mean, there's worldwide economic events, weak dollars in Europe. That's hurting things.
Yeah, the oil's down.
Oil's getting pushed down. And the reality is economic factors are just not as strong. I mean, holiday sales from shopping,
True.
Not as strong as it anticipated to be. So a lot of money is flowing into the bond markets right now, pushing interest rates down. I mean, we're now back at government loans in the low 3s, FHA, VA loans.
Are you
low
serious?
3s.
Low 3s.
Low 3s.
For FHA 30-year fixed?
30-year fixed, yeah.
That is unbelievable.
What's even better, I mean, on the FHA factor is that FHA announced they're going to lower their monthly mortgage insurance. That's really going to make that product a little bit more attractive to a lot of people that only have 3.5% down.
Wow.
That's going to be effective for home buying. I think that'll stimulate the housing market even more than it's
Is it for refis as well?
Refis as well. Correct.
Okay, then that's the lesson we got to take away from today. Then, if you have an FHA loan or if you have a high loan to value loan with an interest rate that's above 4%, the FHA loans are in the low 3s, and they just reduced the mortgage insurance, which is the problem I really had with the FHA loan recently. So I'm glad they recognize that. It's cool that they overcorrected it because they need to not be short. Okay, but it's nice that they've gone back. If you checked on a refinance and couldn't save enough money in the past, it's worth rechecking now with rates at these levels and with the mortgage insurance down from previous levels as well. Go to AskJJNow.com or call John Jarotz directly, 760-522-2298. That's 760-522-2298. Let's see if we can save some people some money, JJ.
Let's do it. Let's get this party started.
Okay, time to start the party. The real estate debate is beginning now. Let's introduce our guests. Contestant number 1, we've alluded to him already as the champion of all time in real estate debate history. Brian DeVore is here with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, and the DeVores.com, 5-time champion on the real estate debate. Looking for number 6 today, Brian.
Well, the way I look at it is 2015, I'm looking for number 1. I'm on level playing field with everybody else here.
Okay, that's a very humble way to look at it, considering you've got a fistful of rings already.
I've just done it a few more times than they have. That's all.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck today, sir.
Thank you very much.
I think you would be the favorite, and I think trying to upset you today would be Jeff Grant, who is here from Sand & Sea Investments. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Great, Derek. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so this is your first time on the show.
It is.
You've done radio before?
I have.
Okay, so you seem like you're pretty comfortable in this position. How do you feel about your chances today against the big champ?
Well, I knew it was a multiple winner. I didn't know 5, so I'm might have to re-strategize here quickly.
It's still 0.
He said it's 0 still. Okay, well, Jeff, welcome to the show, and good
you.
luck today, sir. And you've heard her on the show before. Faye Hines is here with ERA Property Movers. Now, Faye, you haven't been on the real estate debate, but you've been on the radio with me. You've been on the radio with JJ many times before. How do you feel about this format?
I'm excited. I think this is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a knowledge-based situation for our listeners. And I'm always up for a good debate.
Don't let Faye fool you, okay? She looks sweet, and she is, but when it comes to real estate, she knows her stuff. Good luck today, Faye.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Mitch Asa is here, right? Did I get it right, Mitch?
Yeah.
Okay. Mitch Asa is here from Keller Williams Realty. It's your first time now. You're coming on short notice, so I appreciate you doing that. We did have a last-second cancellation. You stepped up, so everyone should know that. How do you feel about being on the show today?
I'm excited to be on with these vets. I'm obviously the youngest in the room, so I'll use that. I'll use that towards my advantage, hopefully.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Mitch, and thanks for stepping up, man. We really appreciate that. All right. It's time for the first segment of the real estate debate. It's time for rapid fire. Today's rapid fire topic is current market misconceptions. We'll be starting with Mr. DeVore. Please tell us any current misconceptions in the marketplace. They could be from buyers, sellers, or the media. Be prepared with several answers, as this can go around the table 5 times or more during the segment, and the answer should be about 5 to 10 seconds. Brian, you're up first.
All right. I asked the general public on my Facebook page what they thought, and the first one that came to mind, it's too expensive to buy a home in Southern California. Homes will always be more expensive here. Doesn't mean you can't buy. It just means you have to adjust what you can buy.
Okay, makes sense. Jeff Grant.
That short sales are good deals. Last year's market was very different than it is today. Those discounts that used to be there for short sales are no longer there as easily as they were.
Okay, short sales are no longer deals. Faye Hines.
The real estate market is global. That's a misconception. The real estate market is local. And it's the fears of Ebola, or it's the fears of ISIS, or it's the fears of, and people get into a fear mode, and then they don't react to their own personal situation in their own personal neighborhood where interest rates are down and you have sunshine every day.
She hit on a lot of good points there. Mitch.
Well, after speaking with a few of the agents in a couple of the market centers that I've worked with, a lot of the agents feel like prices are coming down, and I believe that's a misnomer. Pricing is not coming down, but the acceleration of appreciation has slowed down. So it's giving us that appearance.
Okay, so prices aren't actually going down. It's just the deceleration of the appreciation.
You got it.
That's very insightful, Mitch. Well done. We're going to go around again. Brian DeVore. The topic today is current market misconceptions for rapid fire. Go.
Another person said that they missed out. The market is bottomed, and it's just not going to go. It's just going to keep going up. And I think the rule is, and we've talked about it before, if it's more expensive to rent than to buy, you should think about buying. So I don't think that for the majority of people, if it's still more expensive to rent, they should be buying, and they haven't missed out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's not an investment. It's a hedge, folks. Jeff Graham.
On that point, to flip the script, I think there are times where some people should rent when they are looking to buy, and we'll advise them as such. But typically a short-term occupancy, such as like a downtown with a high HOA situation.
You know, I think DeVore scared you out of challenging him on that one, or something with the talk before, because that was a perfect challenge situation where you guys could have really gone at it right there. All right, current market misconceptions, Faye.
Their house is the best house on the market. Without seeing anything else, they have it in their head, my house is the best house. And it's not true.
There can only be one best house.
I have to challenge that.
Oh, wow. Here he comes. We have a challenge. Brian DeVore has challenged Faye Hines. Brian, you have 30 seconds to make your case.
I don't think I'll need that much time. It is possible that their house is the best house. You can't say categorically that it's definitely not the best house. It could be the best house.
Okay. He's saying it's possible. Faye, you have 30 seconds to rebut. You don't have to put your flag in.
Okay. Point in case. That's 1 out of 100. 99 sellers do think their house is the best house without seeing other comparables in the area. It's a mindset, and you have to unwind that mindset. So it is a misconception by the fact that the majority of sellers are not seeing what else is on the market. So
Sorry,
they
Brian.
do have that.
Sorry, Brian. Faye, you win the challenge.
All right.
Now, you maybe technically you were going for there was a technical answer.
Right.
But based on what she said and what she backed up, she did make her point, because it is a misconception is a generalization.
All right.
Just by definition. But good challenge.
All
I
right.
like the fact that you
Gotta try it.
you went after it.
Gotta try it.
Mitch, misconceptions in the market right now.
Seller misconceptions. I get this one a lot. Zillow said my house is worth $500,000, and that's what I would like to list it for.
I can't believe it took all the way to the end of the second round to get that one. Great point, Mitch. Brian DeVore, misconceptions in the market.
All I have to do is put the home on the internet, and it will sell.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people sellers are believing that, and it's possible in some cases that could happen. But generally speaking, I think we'd all agree it still takes a lot of marketing horsepower and a lot of effort and a lot of expertise and skill to get a house sold in the market today.
Yeah, I agree. That market isn't here anymore. Oh, here she comes. She's coming right back at you. Faye Hines is now challenging Brian DeVore.
Oh,
you have 30 seconds.
It is true that not just putting it on the internet sells a property. But if you don't put it on the internet, it may not get sold. So your generalization there, I have to wonder, because it is absolutely a part of active marketing today. So it does have to be on the internet. And that consumer may only know that portion of it, but they do know their house has to go on the market,
Brian
on
DeVore,
the internet.
You have 30 seconds to rebut that.
Okay. The point I was actually trying to make, I guess, was all I have to do is put my home on the MLS or to get the home sold, just, that kind of thing. Yes, the internet and the consumer sites are critical and important, and that's what we are here to do. But the misconception I believe that some sellers have is I don't need all those consumer sites. All I have to do is put it on the MLS, and it'll somehow trickle into some of those sites, and I'll be good to go. I think some sellers still believe that. As a matter of fact, I had a seller tell me that last week.
So what he's saying is that you absolutely have to put it on the internet, but you have to do more than that. So that's what he's saying. So, Brian, you actually get your flag back in this case.
Well, I get her flag now. Well, that's okay. I'll take her flag.
It was your flag.
Oh, that's true. I got it back.
So now it's back.
That's true.
All is right in the world. Jeff Grant, misconceptions.
I get a frequent call, maybe once a week, from an investor buyer saying, Jeff, I would like to purchase something that gives me immediate cash flow. They're always seeking 8 to 10%. It's just not that easy.
I wish it was, man.
Yeah, if we could, if it was a good thing to get that call, right? That'd be a great market. Faye Hines, misconceptions in the marketplace.
A good value to a buyer is going to be a good value to lots of other buyers as well. So a buyer likes the property, it fits their needs, but they just want to see a few more. Mm-hmm. And even though the market is not rampant right now, and it's not going up every day right now, but many a buyer loses that first chance because maybe it's the first or second, maybe even third house they've seen. So they're missing that opportunity by thinking, oh, there might be something else out there.
Grass is greener mentality. That's
exactly.
A tough position to take right now.
They need to, as soon as they see something that's right for them, make that offer, because it's going to be gone when it's good value. It's going to be good value to another buyer. Make
the offer and lock your rate.
Exactly.
That's what I would suggest right now. You don't have to do a long-term lock with JJ. Mitch, misconceptions.
A lot of my buyers. I need a very large down payment to put down on a house to buy right now. As JJ had mentioned, FHA rolled out 3.5% program back, and conventional loans are going down to 3% as well. So typically on a $300,000 house, somebody is looking to at least have about $90,000 to put down conventional, and that's changed. And we're being able to get them in for
people
a lot
are getting
less.
in for $10,000 to $15,000. It's been pretty crazy. All right, that's a great first segment here to open up the real estate debate. You're listening to AM 760 KFMB. Coming up, we'll check in with JJ, our judge, see what the scores are, and it's time for my favorite agree or disagree. What will happen this year in the real estate market? 2015 in San Diego will make you smarter than everyone else. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
Fiery real estate debate today, JJ. This is great.
It is. And from a points perspective, it's all very even. Faye is in the lead at 6 points. Everybody else has 5, but, it's a tight match.
Wow. So this is really tight. So if we go through the points here, Brian DeVore has 5 points, Jeff Grant has 5 points, Mitch Asa has 5 points, and Faye Hines has 6 points. So very, very close going into my favorite segment, agree or disagree.
Time now for agree or disagree.
Can't we just settle this over a pint?
Agree?
Yes!
or disagree?
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
Let's get it on.
All right. Jeff Grant, you are up first. Agree or disagree with this statement? Tell us whether you agree or disagree, and then tell us why, of course. Here's the statement. For the first time in several years, real estate values in San Diego County will decline in 2015.
I disagree. I strongly disagree. Though we saw double-digit appreciation the last few years, I believe that this next year, simply because supply is low, demand remains high, because interest rates remain low, because stocks are volatile at best. For those reasons, it's going to continue going up.
Uh-oh. We got a challenge. Mitch Asa has challenged Jeff Grant. Mitch, you have 30 seconds.
Well, it's not with the whole statement about you disagreeing with the statement. It was about a statistic that you threw in there. Last year, we actually didn't have double-digit increase. We were actually around 4.2% as opposed to the previous year. We did peak at about 23% back in 2012. So you can't just say the last few years all were in double digits.
Jeff?
Yeah, actually, my research shows different, that in 12, it was 20+%, but last year was 11% countywide in San Diego.
Okay, so I have no way to validate this. So, Mitch, go ahead and just take your flag back. There's different sources, different ways that these things are calculated. This is just proof.
Right.
I don't think it's a drastic difference. It might be a percent or two. So I'll want to let Jeff continue with this point.
Great. No, and Mitch, it's a great point. And to your point, that these syndicated websites, from the obvious, Zillow, Trulias, et cetera, they all have different algorithms. They all provide different information, allowing buyers and sellers to think differently. And I think that's part of the most important part of our new job in this era of real estate brokerage, is that we have to provide the facts. We have to provide the trends and clarity. And as Faye said, when you find a house, you got to buy. Or when you want to sell the house, you got to pull that trigger.
Okay. Jeff Grant, he disagrees, strongly disagrees. In fact, Faye Hines, do you agree or disagree? For the first time in several years, real estate values in San Diego County will decline in 2015.
I disagree. Interest rates will be staying down. The economy is not well enough for it to go up, but is well enough for the market to continue. You gentlemen are a lot younger, so I can say that we're in a stable, healthy market where we have enough inventory for the demand, and we are sort of in a crossover. You can talk to some people that say it's a buyer's market. You can talk to others that say it's a seller's market. That means it's a stable market.
Yeah.
All we have to do is provide the service necessary for those folks to make a transition, because we are in a good, stable market that will increase. Loans are so much easier than they were just a couple, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're opening up the doors again to make it easier for buyers. The economy is doing well enough that people are seeing an increase in employment and, of course, the decrease in that unemployment situation. And if they stay away from the fears of the world, we're going to be in great shape, and we're going to have a tremendous year for buyers and sellers.
So Faye also disagrees, thinking that this will be a really good year for 2015. Mitch Asa, what say you?
I also disagree. We're in the same boat. We will see, again, like I said before, a decline in the rate of appreciation in our house values. However, we will see overall 2015 to see a plus, as a positive as far as house values are concerned. A couple factors is that our market is shifting away from an investor-driven market with the fix and flips that we're pushing our values back up. And it's going to go back more traditional factors such as affordability, wages, and employment, obviously. And I got to emphasize that housing and jobs are strongly connected with each other. And it's forecasted to 2015 that our government does absolutely nothing again, which I think might be beneficial for us because they did nothing this year, and it seems as though the economy still expanded, still grew. So I think
we want to debate that one?
I think
I'm gonna have to close that one off.
I think 2015 is going to be a little bit of the same. Again, it's not going to be a huge jump, but we will be in the positive.
So Mitch doesn't buy it either. Brian DeVore, what say you, sir?
I think you set me up to go last because most of the good stuff was taken. However, as you know me very well, I need to interject a whole lot of statistics. So the first thing that I want to talk about, you said that values will go down.
Yes.
I wonder if you use the word value instead of prices on purpose, because prices won't, neither one's going to go down. Certainly values won't go down. There's a lag effect on values going down when prices go down. Even if prices went down this year, it wouldn't necessarily mean that values would go down. But I also don't agree that prices will go down or values will go down like the rest of the group. According to the Greater San Diego Association of Realtors, in 2013, prices were up 20%. Last year, 9%. So for it to go down would mean it'd have to go from 20 to 9 to a negative number. I just don't see how that's going to happen. We're going back to normal supply versus demand, and I'll talk about demand. And you've talked about this on your show before. It all starts with consumer confidence. People are going to want to buy if they have consumer confidence. So let's see, what are the things that people are reading in the news today? Today from the Fed, just today, there was a report the economy is growing at a modest to moderate pace amid concerns over oil prices. This past Monday, Fitch had a report predicts big year for housing in 2015. Bloomberg, young home buyers return in U.S. So everything that people are reading is boosting their confidence. Number two, lower interest rates. Yeah, they're supposed to go up. We heard that last year. We heard the year before. Still hasn't happened yet. Strong local economy, 7% unemployment in 2013, 5.8% November of last year. And fewer people are losing their homes. Foreclosures are still down. This is also restricting supply.
Okay. All right. Hey, they made a lot of good points here for the market to do well next year, or this year, I should say. Only time will tell if that turns out to be correct. I wish there was more time in this segment so I could give you my 2 cents on that. But we do have a very special segment coming up. We'll check in with JJ on the scores, and we're going to play Hot or Not So Hot. This week's local market area is Carlsbad. So if you live in or around Carlsbad, you want to stick around. We'll make you smarter than everyone else.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, your host. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate. Our judge today, JJ, John Gerodes with Synergy One Lending and AskJJNow.com. JJ, what do the scores look like, my friend?
Oh, it's still a close match. We got Jeff and Mitch tied at 9. Faye at 10, and Brian, with a lot of statistics, took the lead at 11 points.
Oh, wow. He took the lead. So DeVore is up to 11 points. Faye Hines has 10. Jeff Crane has 9. And Mitch Asa has 9. Still anyone's match. Remember the challenge flags. This is a really good opportunity to use challenge flags. If you hear something that you don't like, we'll be starting with Faye Hines. This is the first time we've done this segment. It's called Hot or Not So Hot. And this week's local market area is Carlsbad, California. Now, each contestant will tell us why they think this particular market is hot or not so hot, and then defend their position. So, Faye Hines, I ask you, Carlsbad, California, hot or not so hot?
Hot. Sizzling.
Really?
Yes. If you were to draw a map of Southern California and the San Diego area, you would see that there are commute aspects of where a market would be hot, as well as the employment, all of those sorts of things. But Carlsbad is hot because it's about as far north as you want to go, an executive perhaps to San Diego. And the thing about Carlsbad that is unique, and forget all the statistics, all of everything except the realism of being there. It's walking distance, but it's more than walking distance. The thing about Carlsbad that is so exciting is not necessarily the fact that they've got tremendous school system. It's managed well as a community. The environment itself is what I think the draw is. If you go to Del Mar, if you go to Solana Beach, if you go to Leucadia, if you go to Encinitas, those are all lovely. They're not on the water. You think about it, You have to cross railroad tracks. You have to deal with a number of things. You go to Carlsbad, you are there. You have arrived. You've got restaurants immediately on the beach. I mean, there's beautiful little places where you can go that you are literally right there. The community itself.
Oh, wow. This is interesting. We have a challenge. Brian DeVore has challenged Faye Hines for the second time in the show. Brian, you have 30 seconds.
I could be risking the debate here. Faye, you've done a wonderful job of really selling Carlsbad, and I happen to work in Carlsbad, so I think that's a good thing. I'm waiting to hear, unless you're going to get there, but so far you haven't said why the market is hot, why the real estate market is hot. And so I guess my challenge is that you're not really saying that the market's hot or not.
Okay, so he wants you to tell us why the market is hot.
Okay, statistics will show that, again, this balance of having enough inventory. The pricing in Carlsbad is the issue because pricing has to do with the market. If you want to go to the west side, quote, being the beach, Pacific Ocean, and you take the price of a property in Carlsbad versus a property anything south, Carlsbad is your best buy. It will always have the best market as long as the community, the job servicing, and the environment itself are strong enough to hold people there.
Brian, you disagree with her?
She's not answering the question. She's not saying it. I mean, she's saying
it's the best value on the beach.
Maybe. It depends on if that's what someone wants. But it doesn't mean that the market's hot. And she said that the statistics will show. I haven't heard any statistics.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can't argue with you on that. Okay. Brian DeVore wins. Nice challenge. Good challenge.
Thank you.
Faye, I'm gonna cut you off there because I know you don't want to give this guy any more points. Mitch, hot or not so hot? Carlsbad, California.
So 5-time champion, you choose his farm, huh? Carlsbad. I just don't get it. Carlsbad. I'm going to go with not so hot.
Okay, I like it.
Not so hot because, all chief economists, whether it's Realtor.com or the SDAR, believe that the new upcoming buyer is the millennial buyer, the 19 to 35 age range. That is me. That is my friends. And the face of the real estate that they are going to purchase is also changing. It is not going to be the single family detached home. We are looking at multifamily units. If you go down to Mission Valley and check out the new Savita, they're catering towards that millennial buyer with the tri-level townhomes from Shea Homes and so forth. There's two demographics that I have to point out about Carlsbad that I feel goes against it being a hot market in this next 2015 year. The first demographic, unfortunately, is race. Between Caucasian, African American, and Asian, that takes up about 96% of the population. Next to the millennial buyer, the Latino Hispanic buyer is the next buyer that is going to be driving this real estate market. And as being Hispanic myself, looking at that, it just doesn't seem the most appropriate place to relocate my family.
So you're saying there's 4% Hispanics in Carlsbad? Is that what you're saying?
Actually, 2.43%.
2.43%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's combined with all other races because they didn't even make the top 6 in Carlsbad.
Wow. That's an interesting stat.
They go there to work. And then also the median age range is 45, and then their children are the next large population. So again, that 19 to 35 buyer that's supposed to be coming in and helping this market grow, not going to look to Carlsbad. Mind you, I also have lived in San Diego 10 years. I've gone up there for 2 things: take my godchildren to the Legoland and to go to the Carlsbad outlets. So,
right on.
Oh, Jeff Grant wants to make a challenge here. All right, Jeff, you have 30 seconds.
Sorry for coming in late. I got to point out regarding Savita, great development in Mission Valley, but you referenced that new product. I think it's more of a supply and demand issue. Mission Valley clearly doesn't have as much. Carlsbad really caters to the average age of 40, statistically, according to Association of Realtors. I think that...
I just said that, by the way.
You said 45.
Okay.
12% difference.
45%. Okay.
That's all. I just want to point out that I don't think the new architecture is catering so much to age as it is supply and demand.
So you don't think multifamily is going to be the driving force in 2015 as far as real estate is concerned?
Well, you referenced your age sector. I'll reference mine, which is the next one above it. And truth be told, no. We've all lived in condos for the last 15 years. I'm ready to move into a house.
You're going to move to Carlsbad?
I'm just letting this go right now. I'm just letting this
I'm waiting
go.
for the gloves to come
If I can
on.
afford it.
I don't know if you can do that. I saw Faye threw a flag in here too. Why not? Let's do it. Faye, what do you think?
Well, no one's disagreeing, I guess, because of the diverse population and demographics, but you're not taking into consideration at all the baby boomers. You're talking about you being the buyer, the youth, the 19 to 35. You know, I think you better dig into statistics
So
a little
again,
more.
baby boomers will be downsizing. Again, the face of real estate will be multifamily. Thank you very much.
This is great. This has been one of the best debates so far. I don't even know what to do right now.
This is awesome.
I'm lost. There's flags in the middle. Okay.
Let Jake
You may have to wait to the break to figure this out.
No, I won't have to go to the break. All right. So, Jeff, you made a good point, but I can't give you the challenge because Mitch made a lot of really good points. And he's right. We always need the future young folk to buy in order for it to, in order for things to continue on. We need the next generation to be buyers. And I don't know if they're going to be buying detached or attached, but that doesn't really matter. There's no way to know that or to really even debate that. But I think that we definitely need them. There's no question. Even if the average age in Carlsbad is 40 today, what's it going to be, 10, 20 years from now? We don't have any idea. And Faye, I appreciate your input, but I'm not going to make you lose a challenge flag, so you can take that back. Okay. Whew. Brian DeVore, took a while to get to you.
I was sitting on my hands in that one while they were taking it out.
Hot or not so hot? It's already been mentioned that this is your farm area, Carlsbad, California. Hot or not so hot?
I just want to answer the question. So far, no one's answered the question.
Okay.
They talk about the future and demographics. Is it hot or is it not hot? Are homes selling? Are prices going up or prices going down? And before I answer the question, I think it's important to note Carlsbad does have 4 different zip codes. Okay. And so we have to maybe look at each zip code separately. And then again, and there's different price points too, different quartiles. What is the definition of hot? Are sales happening? Are prices increasing? Let's take a look at our friend, the Altos Research Report. The Altos Research Report talks about what is out on the market right now, active inventory, and what they're saying. And they have the market action index that says, how is the market? The number 30 means it's a balanced market. If it's above 30, it's a seller's market. If it's below 30, it's a buyer's market. And let's compare October to January so we can see, if you want to see if it's hot, are things going up or going down over the last 3 months or so? October is 35.8, January 36. So in effect, it's going up a little bit, becoming a little bit more of a seller's market, again, according to the statistics. Okay, can't argue with stats, but it's a little bit flat. Median asking price is about the same, $856 in October, $854 in January. But days on market are up 22%. Okay, they were 85 days in October, 104 days in January.
Wow.
Now let's look at, and if you look at it by quartile, the lower quartile, of course, is hotter. Now let's look at supply versus demand. That's going to indicate, is the market going to be hot in the next month or two? It's about 2-to-1 ratio of homes on the market versus homes in escrow. Okay, it's actually 296 homes as of yesterday available versus 138 pending. But if we break it apart by zip code, what's interesting is it's pretty similar in all of them. 2-to-1 in one of them, 2-to-1, 2.7-to-1, and 2.5-to-1. So there's a little bit of an undersupply because we like to see 4 months of inventory. That indicates it's going to keep being a hot market. But it is hyper-local. If you look at a certain community, for example, in Rancho Carrillo, it's 1.5-to-1. Inventory is super low. Aviara, which is the more desirable zip code of 92011, it's actually almost 3-to-1. But still, it's a little bit of a seller's market. Inventory is still low.
So are you saying that the market is hot or not so hot in Carlsbad?
I think the market is hot.
Make your point.
You think it's hot?
I think the market's hot. But the definition of hot for me, sales are happening. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean prices are skyrocketing. It just means there's a lot of activity.
Okay.
And we're still seeing a lot of activity, hence the 2-to-1 ratio of supply demand.
Okay. All right. No, that makes sense to me. Jeff, you've been waiting a while.
Again, the good points are taken.
Jeff Grant, hot or not so hot, this week's local market area, Carlsbad, California.
It's healthy hot. I look at absorption rate. Since you rattled off the statistics, long and short of it, there's 3 months of inventory in the market, and that's about exactly where we want to be. It's actually 2.98.
And we have a challenge.
I should wait for the reference.
Brian DeVore challenge, Jeff Grant.
The one thing I didn't get to is absorption rate. It's actually 2.2 months is what it is. The numbers I came up with, 296 available inventory divided by how many sales per month for 6 months. That's the definition of absorption rate. 136 sales over the last 6 months. So it's about 2.2 months of inventory.
Jeff, what do you think?
I think he went back too far. 6 months. If you look at the exact last month, it was 154. Right now, active and pending are 460, which is exactly 2.98.
Definition of absorption rate is 6 months. You have to go 6 for absorption.
This is madness in here today.
If you're going to use absorption rate, you got to use the right definition of it.
Well, referencing one of your past debate shows, is 6 months still the norm for
It's
inventory?
still the definition.
Or has that shifted
I
to
think that changes
3 to
with
4
the market.
months, which a lot of economists
it's
are
definitely
saying?
It
seasonal.
definitely changes with the market.
I mean,
I'm not saying that
Even your
should go
comps,
back 6
even your
months.
comps
I'm just saying the
change with the
definition of
market.
absorption rate.
Hold on. We're nitpicking. I want to let Jeff make his point. Let's let Jeff make his point. Jeff, go.
Sure. Well, to further make my point, there's a lot of sellers and buyers that are incentivized to close before the end of the year. So with 156 closings in December, I think that comes with an asterisk beside it. In November, we looked at 108, and then October, 163. So we're averaging about 130, give or take. But these numbers, again, indicate that we are in a very healthy market right now. But it is leaning towards it's hot. It's a seller's market right now in Carlsbad.
Okay. All right. Well, that closes out our very first hot or not so hot segment that we've ever done. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB. When we come back, we'll check in with JJ on points. We will crown a champion. It's time for the win. Stick around. We'll make you smarter than everyone else.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Crazy real estate debate today, JJ. This is what it's all about.
It is all about, and I've been waiting for this sort of debating. I mean, this is truly what we're here for. Big swing when you win a challenge, you take the points of the challenged. Brian DeVore is taking a pretty good lead with that at 20 points. He took some points from Faye. Faye's a little bit behind at 10 points. Jeff and Mitch are tied at 15. Still time for a challenge flag on the listing of the week.
Okay, and keep in mind, too, during the listing of the week, our judge, John Girotes, that's JJ with Synergy One Lending and AskJJNow.com, he's only got 10 total points to give out. So if someone does a great job, they could get all 10 points. In this case, that would make you the winner, no matter who, where you're standing at this moment. So there's a total of 10 points that he has to divvy up based on how well you pitch your property. Mitch, will be starting with you. Tell us about your favorite listing of the week.
Honey, stop that car. Come see this adorable University Heights Spanish bungalow with tons of new features and updates combined with a lot of the old classic 1920s charm. This 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 890 square foot home has been remodeled to the nines. Seller spared no expense. He's got a new forced air eating unit with new vents through all the bathrooms and bedrooms. He's got so he re-stuccoed it exterior, interior, new dual pane Craftsman windows to go with the age of the house, brick paved patio, Zen garden, new appliances, backsplash in the kitchen. But he meticulously kept some of the original 1926 charm. We got the built-in hutch and dining hutch. We got original hardwood floors, not to mention the Batchelder fireplace that is sitting there waiting to be restored. A tile of those go for about $5,000 a piece on eBay. But let's talk about the location. Minutes walk to Park Boulevard in the quintessential Park Business District. great restaurants, shops, schools, everything that you want. And last but not least, for all you East Coasters, they just built a Sonic right around the corner. So come down and visit 2031 Meade Avenue. My name is Mitch Asa, and you can reach me at mitchasa@kw.com or 858-805-5525.
Wow. Great job, Mitch. I tell you, that was good, man. That was like, you're like a pro or something in here, which that's good.
We are.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Brian DeVore, let's hear about your favorite listing.
So I have a special treat for your listeners because the listing I'm about to talk about is not yet on the market. And for those people who are listening to your show right now, if they contact me, they will get to see the house before anyone else has a chance to see the house.
Oh, that's neat.
So it's there's decent inventory in Carlsbad, but there's nothing like this. And this is what people are looking for. And as Faye knows as well, one story. Very rare up in our area. But listen to everything this has. One story, cul-de-sac location, one of the premier communities in all of North County, which is Rancho Carrillo, completely move-in ready, and it's less than $750,000. People just do not find that anymore, and this one's coming on the market. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, has a separate living room, which a lot of people use as an office. So think of it as a 3-bedroom plus, which is incredible. It's got a wonderful private backyard, 2,206 square feet, centrally located near shopping, restaurants, businesses, freeways, and everything. And we're going to be pricing this home right around $739,000. It's going to be professionally staged within the next couple weeks, and we'll be starting showings the first part of February.
Now, if you call today, you get to see it before February?
We're going to let people, anyone who's listening to your show right now will get to see the home before the general public can see it, and they have an opportunity.
Okay, and how do they do that?
They can contact me at 760-908-3838, or they can send me an email at info@thedevores.com.
Okay, wow, it sounds like a great listing, man. Congratulations on that one.
It's a great home.
Wow, really, really good one. All right, Jeff Grant, let's hear about your favorite listing, man.
All right, right now we have a listing. It's a condominium, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,020 square feet. It is in Carmel Valley in a development called Pell Place. For anyone that knows the area, knows that it's on fire in that complex. This is a highly upgraded unit with a large patio, raised ceilings, and 2 parking spaces. You also may know that there's been a few fire sales in there justifying a lower price. And with that, we recently lowered the price down to $439,000.
Wow.
Wow,
it's a great deal for anyone looking for the first house, or even someone maybe looking to take advantage of the best schools. You buy that home, it justifies residency possibly. You could then even move on and rent it out. And I'm willing to bet cash flow if appreciation rates stayed where they were.
Yeah.
Lastly, if anyone calls me and says, Jeff, I heard about the listing on the Real Estate Debate, I will personally pay your first 3 months of HOAs. That's $300 per month. So you get $900 from me if you reference this show. I can be reached directly at jeff@key2sd.com or my cell phone at 858-336-9836.
Wow, that's awesome. Great offer. Really, really cool. That's cold hard cash we're talking about. First 3 months of HOAs, $900, if you will. Faye Hines, let's hear about your listing.
Regina Del Palazzo is a up and running bed and breakfast, 1,922 square feet, and the bed and breakfast has 2 bedrooms in Old Escondido, wherein the guests, this is on Travelocity, all of those sorts of things. The beautiful part is that you're buying a business and a home for $699,000.
Wow.
And a number of the furnishings are negotiable as well. It's been completely redone from the utility standpoint because it has a gorgeous kitchen, beautiful appliances, and is open to a gorgeous dining area, front parlor. And then the bonus is that this also has the innkeeper's area totally separate that can be blocked off so that you have a beautiful master bedroom and lovely living area that's totally separate from the area that is used as a bed and breakfast.
So it's a 2-unit, basically?
Well, just wait, because the bonus is there is a 1-bedroom home in the back attached to a 2-car garage where there are 3 parking places in the back. And the one bedroom is an adorable little studio so that it could be used for guests on a nightly basis or a weekly basis or those kinds of things. And you can reach me to see this beautiful property at 760-533-9974. Again, I'm Faye Hines at ERA Property Movers.
Great stuff. What a fantastic. I want to just give everyone in here a little round of applause for such a great debate today as JJ is doing the final tally. Big thanks to Brian DeVore from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, and then DeVores.com. You did great today, Brian. Jeff Grant, your first time on the show, you did awesome from sandandseainvestments.com. Faye Hines from the HeinsTeam.com. Always great to see you, Faye. And Mitch Asa, thank you so much for coming in on short notice from SoCalLifestyleRealty.com and Keller Williams. JJ, do we have a final tally?
We have a final tally, and remember, every contestant gets 2 points for the flags that they hold at the end of the round here. So that, Jeff, is that your flag?
No, it's not.
It's okay. That's Faye's flag. So. It was tough to catch up to Brian here, but Faye ended up with 14 points. Jeff ended up with 17 points. Mitch, with that listing pitch, was amazing and almost caught up at 23 points, but the champ remains the champ at 24 points.
Wow.
Congrats, Brian.
Brian DeVore.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a six-time champ, man?
I'm a one-time champ for 2015.
One-time
but
champ.
it is good to get one for the other hand.
All right, that's great stuff. Really appreciate all of our guests today. Stick around for Talking Money with Mr. C coming up right here on AM 760 KFMB.